Was there a point when the inner secrets of the East and West came together?
Yes, there have been such moments, and Sufis have always been interested in facilitating these convergences. And so, for instance, one of the very early Sufis, or at least one of the earliest to be called by the name Sufi, was Dhunnun Misri. And he was said to be proficient in deciphering the hieroglyphs. And so it was through him that the Egyptian transmission and also Greek transmission of knowledge passed into Sufism. Other figures had contacts with the Christian monastic tradition. Others absorbed the lore of the Israeliyat, the lore of the rabbis, and so many of the stories that are told among the Sufis are stories of the biblical prophets that have been passed down by the rabbis. Kabbalah and Sufism are interrelated in that sense. And there have been certain figures who specialized in reunifying disparate transmissions. One of these was Sheikh al-Ishraq Shahabuddin Yahya Suhrawardi, who consciously reunified two streams that he said originated in ancient Egypt with the figure of Hermes Trismegistus. One of these streams passed into Greece, the other passed into Persia, and he, in the light of the Islamic revelation, reunified these streams and revived the lore of the illuminationist tradition of Persia. Later he was succeeded by a Zoroastrian sage who, in the same way that Suhrawardi absorbed the wisdom of the Zoroastrians, this Zoroastrian figure, Azari Kaivan, absorbed the Sufi transmission through Suhrawardi. So there was a wonderful mirroring. And the Sufis have always been interested in these kind of exchanges because they recognize wisdom is one. It is the legacy of all of the prophets. It spans the globe. And the Sufis are always looking for the Majmu al-Bahrain, which means the meeting of oceans. And that was the word that was used by Prince Muhammad Dara Shikoh, who was a son of Shah Jahan. And he used that word to describe the encounter between Sufism, the Islamic revelation through Sufism, and Vedanta, the Vedic transmission through Vedanta. That the Vedas and the Quran were two dispensations of knowledge of divine unity that came together at a mingling of oceans. And he was a witness to that mingling, and he produced translations and books detailing the correspondences between these scriptures. So there are many, many cases of intersections between the Beni Israeli, the biblical, Judeo-Christian, Islamic stream, and on the other side, the Aryan traditions, Hinduism, Buddhism, Zoroastrianism, even indigenous traditions, the recognition that there is wisdom inherent in all of the deepest spiritual searchings of humanity, and the Sufis have been interested to recognize that commonality and to bring it forth into the world.